What is the expression 40 times the sum of 32 and 18? So let's have 32. The sum means atom. And 40 times. That's the expression. Okay, what is the value of the expression? What is that equal to? Well, let's see. 32 plus 18 is just 50. So what is 40 times 50? 4 times 5 is 20. And it's just a matter of putting 2 zeros. So we have 2,000. Divide the difference between 1,500 and 800 by 7. So difference tells me let's subtract. What's the difference between 1,500 and 800? And then we're going to divide that by 7. Well, 1,500 minus 800 is like 15 minus 8. It's 700. 700 divided by 7 is going to be just 100. Let's make it clear. That's the answer for that one. The sum of 4 15ths and 16 15ths. So 4 15ths is 4 times 15. And it says sum, so we need to add that up with 16 15ths. 16 times 15. 16 groups of 15. Well, 4 groups of 15 plus 16 groups of 15 is 20 groups of 15. 2 times 15 is like 15 minutes times 2 is 30 minutes, but there's a 0 here, so the answer is 300. I don't need to use the standard algorithm so far. 12 times the sum of 18 and 2. The sum, again adding, of 18 and 2. 12 times that. 18 and 2 added together is 20. So we have 12 times 20. 2 times 12 is 24. And there's 1 0, 240. Let's look here. Now we need to write in words 10, I can just say it out loud, 10 times the sum of 210 plus 70. 10 times the sum of 210 plus, oh, let's not even say plus, the sum of 210 and 70, because the sum tells us to add those. Well, what is 210 plus 70? That's 280. So 10 times 280 is 2,800. We got another one. Let's see. That's the sum of two numbers, and it's going to be times 13. So I'm going to say 13 times the sum of 350 plus 650. Well, what is 350 plus 650? I can do it in my head, but let's go ahead and do that. Oh, it's 1,000. So what's 1,000 times 13? It's 13,000. Now, as for a grade, and I know it's taken me 4 minutes and 25 seconds, let's look at what that is for a grade. Item number 1, when it's the test, student is able to answer 1 to 3 items correctly. Let's count up the items real fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So if you get 1 to 3 of those correct, you only get 25%. You get 1 out of 4. If you get 4 to 7 items correct, you get 50%. If you get 8 to 11 items correct, you get 75%. And then if you get all 12 items correct, you get 100%. So it's actually pretty hard to get 100%. So you would get plus 4 on this. It would be out of, your score would be out of 4. Moving on to part 2. So each one is going to get its score. So this next one is also going to be out of 4 points. Compare the two expressions using greater than, less than, or equal. For each, explain how you can determine the answer without calculating. And I know in my class we've been struggling. Explain. I forgot to do all the parts of this. So I was walking around not doing that part. Let's just look. Here, without doing the math, I mean, we can just quickly see that's 5,000. But let's see. 35 times 40 plus 60. 40 plus 60 would be 100. So let's just figure that out. 100. I don't want to do all the math. 100 would add 2 zeros. But over here, we're going to add 3 zeros to 5. So that would be 5,000. So whatever this equals, I don't need to really figure that part out. This one has to be bigger. Let's use reasoning. 5 times 1,000 has to be greater because there are 3 zeros, which means we are already in the thousands place, not the hundreds. Okay, and if we did the math, it would actually end up 3,500. So the 35, it does have an extra place, but then it would be y. 48 times 12. Okay, I don't need to figure that out. 30 12s and 18 12s. Well, what is 30 12s plus 18 12s? How many 12s would I have total? One of my hands plus someone else's 2 hands. Would it be 3 hands? Well, how many fingers? There would be 15 fingers. So 30 12s plus 18 12s is a total of 48 12s. So we'd have 48 times 12. Well, I still don't need to figure that out because over here it says 48 times 12. They must be equal. Okay, 48 12s is equal to 48 times 12. I don't know how to put it in other words. Let's look at the next one. 24 times 15. Again, we don't have to figure it out. 5 24s. So here we have 5 times 24. There's 5 of them. But that's going to be tripled times 3. Well, let's see. 5 24s times 3. 5 times 3. I got rid of the parentheses. I think the answer would be the same, but 5 times 3 is 15. So we have 15 24s. Oh, is that what we have over here? So they have to be equal. 24 times 15 equals 15 times 24. That's also worth 4 points total. Here's how that one works. Student is unable to compare the expressions. That's just 1.25%. Student is able to correctly compare at least 2 pairs of expressions, but is unable to explain the reasoning. You've got to explain the reasoning. Okay, and then the highest maximum credit student correctly compares all pairs of expressions and is able to explain the reasoning for all parts of the task. Took me